What's up, everybody? Ben Rasa and Eytan Shander here for Awesemo Odds, and we are back talking Saturday Night Football. That is the case.
Yes.
It is the first Saturday games of the year officially upon us. We've got two good ones, including the night game, which we're going to be talking about. New England Patriots at the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are a slight 2.5-point favorite, over under of 45. This is a great game and a great game from a betting standpoint. And here we're going to dive into our favorite same game parlay. We're going to try to hit that multiplier, build a narrative, and see what we can do. If you are new to the channel, welcome. It's good to have you here for returning guys. You guys know the drill. If you could hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, really help us out. But Eytan, I know with these two Saturday games, you've got to be excited about this big one in the AFC.
Absolutely. And if I may add, too, since we're doing this for Saturday night, there's a slate of Sunday games. So if you out there have your own same game parlay that you want to hit us up with on Sundays, by all means, let us know below. We'll get to them on the Sunday or Monday show and recap. So plenty of opportunity for people. I know everybody loves them, and I'm one of them. And you know we're going to take advantage of what OddsShopper has from an individual player prop standpoint, the X-win percentage, right? All the data that's free available to us, Ben. We're going to use that. As you can see, we're going to make a nice three-leg same-game parlay that gets us just south of a 5-to-1 return. Not bad when you look at these legs here.
No doubt. And yeah, obviously everyone stay up to late breaking news is going to come. We're going to just have to deal with it. But we are going to film this, see what happens. And certainly there are opportunities in this game. So let's dive into it. Go here. We have crafted up a 3-leg same game parlay in this Patriots Colts. And we're sticking to a very, narrative based play. First leg, we've got over 219.5 passing yards for Mac Jones. That is a pretty pedestrian line when you look at what he's been doing and where he's at. The normal over-under across most books is sitting at 225.5, so we're getting 6 yards right there. Obviously, we're paying for it a little bit, but our projections on OddsShopper have him upwards of 245.5, Eytan. So I'm assuming right off the bat you're okay with that leg.
Yeah, absolutely, because the other option here would be to build it under, the premise of Mac Jones smashing our projections and going even over what Alex has in that 245 range and taking that 244.5. There's no reason to take that risk because we're adding 2 other legs to this same game parlay. So why not use those extra 6 yards to our advantage from the book? And now we have a pretty significant gap between what we're going over with here and what Alex has on site for Meyers. And Meyers, as you see, is going to be a big part of what we're building here. But it makes sense, too. They come back from that windy game, that definitely the offense having the ability to move the ball in the air in this matchup specifically against the Colts. So it makes a lot of sense that Meyers would be the heavily targeted guy.
No doubt. So, again, a couple things. We saw the Patriots, it feels like years ago, but they played in that Thursday game. They've got the long week, the mini bye. And then we get into a situation here with them. It's just, narrative-based style. It would be peak Bill Belichick to say, you know what, we're only going to run it 3 times now after only passing it 3 times in that last game. They're inside in a dome. Colts middle of the road and passing yards allowed per attempt, 6.7. So I do think that Mac Jones will have opportunities. And yes, the next one up is Jakobi Meyers, over 39.5 receiving yards. This is a guy that obviously we're going to talk about the touchdown variance in a little bit, but the line is 44.5. You're getting plus money there. We haven't projected upwards of 60 yards receiving. I don't think it's crazy. Obviously, I hope that Jonathan Taylor is running wild on the other side of this game, and that's going to force Mac Jones to really throw the ball. And if he's throwing the ball a lot, Jakobi Meyers is going to be very busy in this game.
I think it's a great way, again, as we mentioned, to play Meyers as the reason why Mac Jones, or the big reason why Mac Jones goes over his passing yardage, and from targets to receiving yards to the eventual touchdown that we'll talk about. It just makes a lot of sense, especially with what you laid out. And I could totally see it. People talking left and right leading into this game about how many carries the running back's going to have and whether or not Mac Jones is a franchise quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. Would it shock you if he threw the ball 50 times against the Colts? And look, the more he throws, the more opportunity for Jakobi Meyers to get targeted. He is the number 1 guy for Mac. Absolutely.
Yep, and that's why, of course, these same game parlays, you can build in correlation. And again, you still want to shop those odds and try to find, you don't want to make the mistake of correlating too heavily and the odds just don't add out. But what we did here, we had 2 pretty conservative picks and we tried to up it up to get near to 5-1. with Jakobi Meyers anytime touchdown scorer in this game. Now, Jakobi Meyers famously never scored, and then he finally got one during the season. But this is still a guy. There's nothing, and we talk about this a lot here on the Awesemo Odds channel, there's nothing in Jakobi Meyers' game that should prevent him from scoring. He's a good-sized, possession-type wide receiver. He should be a red zone target. It is just bad variance right now. So don't be afraid to take a Jakobi Meyers finding the end zone type prop. I think it rounds out perfectly. If the Patriots throw the ball a lot here, Mac Jones and Jakobi Meyers figure to really set up, and we're getting almost 5-1 on this 3-leg parlay.
No, and the one thing you and I were in agreement on, it didn't work as far as the odds when we were building this ahead of the show, was the over on the total. And it's not just going to be because the Colts score 42 points and the Pats are left in the dust. This is very easily a shootout. The Colts love to score points, and the Patriots are more than okay, depending on the circumstance, getting into a throwing match. So this whole thing with the narrative of it being a higher scoring game and Mac Jones going over the yardage and Jakobi Meyers going over the yardage, it just makes sense, right? It's like the final piece of a puzzle where you finish that side. Not me, you, I'm sure, have at some point finished that side of the Rubik's Cube. And it's like a sense of, it just makes sense, right? It just adds up at that point. It's all yellow or all red or all blue right now.
It's certainly the key to these. You have to build things that at least give you a game script that's probable and possible. And here it's pretty clear what we've done here. We're predicting that the Patriots indoors are going to be very aggressive through the air. I think the Colts have a very real chance to be winning the game. That only furthers this. Again, it all hinges on Mac Jones' volume. It's going to be elevated, not just compared to the Buffalo game. You can throw that one out, but just in general, I expect a good passing volume from him, and thus Jakobi Meyers to have those opportunities. So there you have it. Again, how did we build this, Eytan? We went to oddshopper.com. We saw the projections, totally free, no sign up required. We played with the parlay tool. We played with the same game parlay, and we came out with this. We got the over on Mac Jones, the over on Jakobi Meyers receiving yards, and hopefully Jakobi Meyers finds that end zone. We are in business. For me, for Eytan, for Saturday Night Football. Enjoy. Hit that like button on your way out. Good luck with your same game parlays, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See ya.